Rain, rain, go away. Clear skies week 3 offered a full schedule of games. Stallion fans voted theirs the biggest of all. But every game gets equal time on Friday Night Football, and it's next.
You're watching WECT's Friday Night Football with Bob Bonner and John Smith. Sponsored by Atlantic Dermatology and Subway.
We asked you to vote for the game of the week on Facebook, and you chose the Border Bowl. South Carolina's Loras High School crossing the state line to take on the South Columbus Stallions in Tabor City. Tonight, the Stallions looking to improve to 3-0 on the season. First quarter, fourth down, South back to punt. Speaking of Facebook, like my status if you like long punt returns for touchdowns. This is Ryan Bellamy going 67 yards up the sideline. Nobody's going to stop him. Loras takes the lead 7-0. Jake Fonville, well, he doesn't like my status. South Columbus would fire back though. Next possession, Pharaoh McKeever back to pass. He rolls out and finds Sam Dixon Jr. wide open in the end zone. Touchdown Stallions, they take the lead 8-7. Second quarter now, South Columbus driving again. Check this out, incredible catch from Deshaun Daniels. He holds onto the ball, gets hit late, but still managed to bring it down. That would set South Columbus up on the 2.5-yard line. They'd score from there, and then it's back to Deshaun Daniels, punches it in for the 2-point conversion. South takes the lead 16-7. The Stallions go on to win 16-14. Next week, South Columbus travels to Wilmington to take on Hogg. Bob and John.
All right, Ben's with the border battle taken care of. Welcome into the Week 3 edition of the old Friday Night Football Show. Our attention turns from a matchup that was the top vote getter in our Game of the Week poll to the top-ranked team in our Super 6 poll. That team, the New Hanover Wildcats.
Yeah, the Wildcats, not just the #1 team, New Hanover receiving 10 of possible 10 first-place votes. Kevin Motzinger's squad coming off a 21-16 victory over the defending state champs from Scotland County last Friday night, playing host to another team not strangers to our Super 6 poll.
Yeah, that would be Wallace Rose Hill. The interesting thing in this one, the last time New Hanover started the season with 3 straight wins, 2009. The last time Wallace Rose Hill lost back-to-back games, 2009. They lost last week, so let's get right into it. Scoreless in the opening quarter. Bulldogs facing a 4th and something. Emmett Herring hooks up with DJ Bennerman. He goes the other way, takes it inside the 15. 2 plays later, Dijon Keenan in from 4 yards out. Wallace Rose Hill on the board first. It is 7-0 Bulldogs after 1. In the second quarter, Ward Coleman starts to go to work. Across the middle to Trayvon Brown. This one picks up some good real estate. A 23-yard scamper, that moves the chains. Later in the drive, it is Coleman again. It is Coleman rolling, Coleman throwing to a horizontal Ramon Simpson. We are even at 7 apiece. That's how it stayed through the first half. To the third quarter we go. Opening drive, Coleman, nice over the shoulder to Jason Murphy. And Murphy, I don't know if he's got his license, but major real estate here. Down the sidelines he goes, into the Bulldogs red zone. 2 plays later, they go to the ground game for the first time. Montrell Baldwin in from 4 out. Hanover up 14-7. And the Wildcats put together a tidy second half, and they win this one 28-7. So Wallace Rose Hill will host East Duplin in Week 4. New Hanover welcomes Purnell Sweat. Kevin Motzinger telling me there was an injured player late or early on in the second half. Came back, the CAT scan, everything is okay. So the injured player that you saw leave the game in the ambulance, everything is okay with him. Speaking of the Panthers, we mentioned earlier, East Duplin, the carousel ride of a season continued tonight at unbeaten James Keenan. The Panthers go away, home, away, home, away, home, away over the first 7 weeks of the season. First quarter, Keenan up 6-0. TJ Fullwood takes the punt, and TJ Fullwood flat out gone. 43 yards, 14-0 Tigers. Second quarter, the tide starts to turn. East Duplin starting to make a run. Quarterback Malik Baker up top, hooks up with Dijon Poole. So we've had 2 sets of highlights. We've had 2 different Dijons, and both of them had scored. Where's the Mayo? 14-7 at this point, still in the second quarter. East Duplin again, but Baker again, throwing again. This time it's Montel Stallings. We are deadlocked at 14. We stay in the same quarter, and it's more the same for the Panthers. Again, it's Poole. This time, leaving a wake of black jerseys behind him. Rips it for 78 yards. It was 21-14 Panthers at the half. James Keenan scores once in the second, but that's all they would need. The Tigers come back to win it, 22-21. East Duplin takes on Wallace Rose Hill next week. James Keenan enjoys the bye week.
Yeah, now to a pair of teams that were in search of their first wins of the season. Both came very, very close a week ago.
Yeah, those teams, Trask and Ashley. The Titans opened the season with a 3-point loss at Topsail. While just a week ago, Ashley went to overtime against South Brunswick, opted for a 2-point conversion, and they came up 1 point short.
Yeah, a year ago, the teams played a great one at Ashley. In the end, it was Screaming Eagles who came away with a 31-27 win. For Ashley, it was win number one of 2 on the season. Picked this one up, tied at 7, second quarter. Ashley's Chris Kane gives the ball to Quincy Rhodes, goes up the gut, 10-yard touchdown. It was 14-7, Screaming Eagles. Trask with the ball now and having a hard time holding on to the pigskin. Jakota Lane fumbles the ball. Ashley recovers, and they give it right back to the offense. They would turn that turnover into points. Chris Kane keeps himself, goes in for the score, 21-7. Ashley at that point. Kane and the Screaming Eagles not done. Once again, calling his own number. This one goes for 50 yards. Ashley, they go on to win by the final 42-14. Week 4, Trask, well, they are off. Ashley, they play host to Topsail. We've hit the halfway point of our Friday night football. When we come back, 4 more games for you. Hit South Brunswick, Whiteville, North Brunswick, and North Myrtle Beach. We'll be right back.
Follow WECT on Twitter and get your first look at sports news at WECT Sports.
Well, we finished the first segment with a pair of teams chasing win number 1 of the season, so we'll start segment 2 with 2 trying for a second straight W.
That's right, Bob. Laney and South Brunswick a week ago, the Cougars defense stopped Ashley on a 2-point conversion overtime to come away with that 1-point win. As for Laney, the Bucks had to wait until Saturday when they took down Union.
So to Southport we go, a pair of teams facing off the BB&T Jamboree. They went at it for real tonight. South Brunswick hosting Laney. Laney got the better of the Cougars in the Jamboree. Both teams again coming off their first wins of the season. Laney with the ball. Tariq Lane keeps it. Lane, some nice fancy moves. Maybe Dancing with the Stars kind of moves. Bucks with a 13-0 lead. They've got the ball again, and once again they find the end zone. Lane hooking up with David Miller. That's a 20-0 score. Laney just continued to put the foot on the throat of the Cougars tonight. Laney in the red zone again. This time it's Lane finding Kelly Jared. It was 34-0 Bucks. He went to Jared. The Laney offense not slowing down. It's Lane again. Miller time for the score. Laney rolls in this one. 41-7. Lane, 225 yards of total offense, accounting for 5 different touchdowns.
Next, we head south of the border, West Brunswick, playing in the Palmetto State for the second straight week. Tonight, the Trojans taking on North of Myrtle Beach. West trying to make it 3 straight wins over the Chiefs. Tied at 7-3. Chiefs going deep. Will Harwood picked off by Gary Darling. Decent return here, but unfortunately, the West Brunswick drive would stall. So we go to the 3rd and 16. Brandon Moore stepping up in a big way. Great run. Huge gain to end the 3rd quarter. Start of 4th, and they give it to Alonzo Williams. He takes this one 25 yards out in for the score. It was 14-7 North Myrtle Beach at that point. Chiefs, they win 21-7. Next week, week 4, West Brunswick, they are at Lane.
So we started the show with a border battle taking place in Columbus County. In another corner, there was no border to deal with, just a pair of teams battling for a second straight win. Our Ben Powell in Whiteville for tonight's meeting between the Wolfpack and Pender. Ben, what you got?
Yeah, Bob, Pender and Whiteville don't get a chance to play each other every year. In fact, these 2 squads have only met 3 times in the past 6 years. And Wolfpack fans, they don't need a reminder, but the Patriots have won each of those times. Whiteville gets the home field advantage tonight, though. Both teams looking for their 2nd win of the year and hoping to build some momentum before they go into the conference schedule. We start in the 3rd quarter. It's a close game at this point. Whiteville leads 13-10. 3rd and long, Nikki Wells throws incomplete. Now, why do we show you that? Because Wells was injured on the play. He had to be helped off the field and would not return. Foquan Thompson now for Whiteville. He's not injured. He calls his own number and runs this one up the gut for 6. Whiteville took the lead 21-10. Pender never could get their groove back. 4th down here. Devin Hansley running to the right is stuffed for a loss. Patriots turn the ball over. 4th quarter now. Faquan Thompson again fumbles the snap but picks it up. He runs it all the way down the sideline for another touchdown. Whiteville took the lead 27-10. They go on to win 41-18. Next week, Whiteville's at East Columbus and Pender is off.
Our final stop of the night, 2-0 North Brunswick, playing host to 1-1 East Columbus. This game was scheduled to play in Lake Waccamaw because of all the rain this week. Their field unplayable, so they moved it to Leland. North Brunswick driving early. Jacob Shoemate throws low, but Elijah Gresham picks him off, and the big fella goes the other way for the touchdown. 7-0 Gators. Scorpions back on offense. Shoemate throws it again. Picked off again. Terrain Manning takes it the distance. It was 14-0 East Columbus on 2 defensive touchdowns. Defense, well, Gators turned on the offense after 2 defensive scores. Derek Young throwing deep, and John Mitchell gets popped but holds on. Gators up 20-0. North Brunswick not going to be shut out tonight. Graham Rivenbark runs it in. East Columbus, they travel to Leland. They win big by the final of 20-6. North Brunswick, they'll host Lejeune. East Columbus, they will host Whiteville next week. It's the end of the high school football portion of our show. When we come back, Wilmington Hammerheads taking on Orlando with a trip to the USL Pro Finals on the line. We'll be right back.
Become a fan of WECT's Friday Night Football on Facebook and get caught up in the action.